Sorry, I'm late.
That's okay. Welcome.
Thank
We
you.
are just starting, yes. Um, so thank you for being here. So this is a celebration of first of 250 followers that I'm fascinating because I started my Instagram only because I liked to share things and I like to share information about energy and everything that has worked for me. And suddenly like 250,000 people seems that have the same taste that I do because they like what I'm saying. So it's good. So it's a celebration of that. So thank you for that. And also, my journey with energy began around 8 years ago. Well, before that, I always, all my life, I've been interested in the metaphysical topics and everything subconscious mind. But at the same time, I was working in the corporate world and having like all these experiences in the 3D world that you need to go to work and you need to escalate the ladder. And more I escalated the ladder and more I was having all these financial, economical titles, whatever you wanted to call it, that the society say that is good. I was feeling more unhappy and more stressed and more disconnected from myself, despite I thought I was connected. And everything fall into place until I was super stressful. I was in this is stressful work. And then I got pregnant and then my baby was born with some situations health wise. And this is where life shake you, like apart from me, my everything, my life was sort of falling apart as well. So you're upside down, Marita. And so this is where I was already studying subconscious mind, metaphysical at the time, but I was just like interested. All my life, I was interested in the power of the mind because I had a really good, powerful manifestation all my life. But that means good and bad. If I was thinking something negative, I will manifest it. Was thinking something positive, I will manifest it. So in order to understand that, I always wanted to go and understand how my mind works. And all the time related to energy. So in this case, I got to the point that I was collapsing in all aspects of my life. My baby was born, and all these health issues. Obviously, my priority went into her, and uh, and I was so stressed that I just followed the motor instinct of my intuition. And the doctors wanted to operate her. I didn't want it, and I was so strong that no, that I didn't. So this is what I surrendered completely, and I surrendered to energy. And before I was trying all the allopathical medicine, and it was not working. And I would continue, and it was not working, and all the fears from the allopathical doctors telling me it's going to happen this and all that. Until with guidance of a mentor, now my friend, we did some subconscious work, which is at the end energy, and also energy work. And in that energy work, I was surprised. Within 3 days, she had many issues, but within 3 days, one of the issues was solved. Like magic. We didn't do anything. We didn't clean anything. Just dissolve, disappear. And I was like, I was so surprised. I was so surprised. I was like, how it comes? I was doing the work in me, like I was doing my inner shadow work, and then she healed. And I was like, wow. So I continued studying, I continued doing the work. Eventually, she got better and better. And I was so fascinating that I really resigned everything in my work and nothing was matter. Nothing mattered when I thought no parent should go through the pain that I was going about my kid. Like, it is, whoever is a parent here, you feel so helpless, hopeless, in like the worst, despite because you cannot help this, especially she was newborn and you cannot help them and you feel completely like you have done something so wrong. So because the fear was so big, I think that no parents should go through that pain in life. Like no parents should suffer that. So I resigned and I start doing this job. I start studying more and I start study what passioned me, because really when I study all these metaphysics, I'm really excited about it. And that continue, and I try all these techniques and all this information that I'm going to share with you today with many people, with some friends first, and these friends, the the kid was older than my baby, and the kid healed. Like in one day after 8 years of having some situations, and we continue and continue with other friends, and it's like, wow, how energy is making the change. So, so this is how I started my journey for those ones who didn't know. So today I want to share what was that journey. And I want to share, as I was talking with Ra at the beginning, everything is energy. And as Nikola Tesla famously said, if you want to understand the universe, you need to think as a terms of energy and frequency and vibration. So first, so thank you, welcome. And I just want to ground a little bit to everybody. So if you just can do like a three deep breath. And ground. Another one. 2, and 3. Okay. So, so now I want you to be open, because we're going to start from information that perhaps many of you already know, and we will continue. It's like a puzzle that I want to put together with you guys. So I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So let's take this as a play. Like I just want you to, a little bit like a play, like, you know, when the kids are going to play, they are not like, they don't have this ego, oh yes, I just want to play, despite if they know the game or they don't know the game. I want you to take the same concept, because many of these things you probably already know, but just trust me in the process that I'm going to take you in a way that's something that you might not know. So everything is energy. So let's understand what is frequency. So frequency, it is simply the number of times that something occurs or repeats in a given period. For example, if this Tibetan singing bowl, if you gently hit it 5 times in a second, that is its frequencies. You know, a fan rotation in a heartbeat, all that is a frequency. So it's just counting the times in amount of seconds. Yeah, everybody knows that. Then vibration. The vibration, it is the movement. It is the movement that you move the string of a guitar. That vibrates and creates sounds. So when moves, creates that movement. When your phone is vibrating, creates that movement. So that is vibration. Oscillation, it is the movement from one side to another side. Yeah. So we move and we move from one side to another one. So when you are meditating, which we already know, we repeat and hear this all the time, when we are meditating and in gratitude and in loving thoughts, we are raising the vibration. Why? Because our thoughts are vibrating, creating like a energy, and that is expanding outside. Yes? So that is the vibration that we are creating. When we are doing the daily affirmations, I'm grateful, I'm in love, and all the daily affirmations, that is a frequency that you are repeating the things in a frequency. So you say, I'm grateful 10 times in a minute. That is a frequency. An oscillation in your daily life is when you breathe. For example, when we were breathing, we are oscillating like the waves of the ocean. All right. So knowing that, what is frequency, what is vibration, and what is oscillation, which I want you to understand because it's quite important for the whole concept of energy. Yeah. Because we are not conscious of what this means. We only use the terms very loosely, like, oh, it's just high frequency or low frequency, but we don't really understand, or these are good vibes or bad vibes, or so let's hold there. Let's hold there. And then we can move into another term that I want to share with you today, which is the map of the consciousness. So I believe many of you knows about this map of the consciousness of David Hawkins. Yeah. So David Hawkins was a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and then he created this map, which is amazing tool. I don't know if anybody of you um, use this tool as a daily life exercise. Have you used it as a really tool? Anybody of you?
Mm. I haven't seen it before. This
Oh,
is
you haven't seen it before?
no, this is my first time.
Yes, yeah, I haven't seen it before either.
Okay. So this map of consciousness, so what he created is he measure everything, all the emotions. So he put a conscious way to see it. So for example, he said, if you are in shame, your consciousness is so heavy, is 20. So let's imagine coming back to the frequency. We're going to put all the terms together, but let's come back to the frequency and vibration. So if you put a blender, and in the blender we put the veggies and all the fruits, what is on the bottom before we turn on the blender, it is all heavy, and it's fixed, and it's like the fruits, the papaya, the pineapple, everything is like quite dense. But if we put vibration to the blender and I start doing frequencies like moving, it's going to become liquid and it's going to have some movement. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
So the map consciousness of David Hawkins says that when we are in low vibration or very stuck energy emotions like shame, guilt, apathy, grief, it is really heavy on us. So even if, for example, let's do this exercise. When you say, I'm sad, like you bend and you feel heavy, and then you say, I'm happy, you expand and you feel lighter. It's almost automatic. So in our body.
Mm.
So all this was measured. So the most we might think, oh, being angry is the worst. No, actually, be ashamed is one of the worst emotions that we can be. Really drag us down. And in society, we have a lot of guilt and shame all the time. There's as a constant bombarding of shame and guilt within the society, or mother's guilt, or shame the mother, shame the bodies. It is a constant abundance. Why? Because the consciousness of the human, I don't know, for some one reason needs to go down. And this is the very easy way of manipulating to make it down, to make it heavy, because when you are in this heaviness, you cannot expand. And your consciousness, which is that connection to God, it is very narrow and is very stuck. So let's do just an example. If you feel, let's say, anybody wants to have, like, wants to go ahead, wants an emotion that you want to move. You don't have to tell me the problem. You have any emotion that you want to move? I'm feeling right now sad. I'm feeling grief. I'm feeling something. Anybody wants to share? No, that's okay. You don't need to say what do you feel. Like, you don't need to say the whole
Claudia,
problem.
I don't mind sharing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, today I actually do feel a bit of sadness.
Sadness. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's put. I'm just going to. I will do is. I'm just going to put a mute. Going to put mute. I think. Thank you. So sadness. Let's say, like, and then you want to move to where, like, where you would like to feel instead of sadness.
Love.
You want to feel love. So let's say that is grief, and you
Yeah.
want to feel and move to love.
Yeah.
So this is like a tool. So from grief, that is in the 75 and the conscious, you cannot do a big jump to love.
Okay.
And this is what happened to a lot of us, or a lot of the people. They get frustrated that the people said, oh, it's so easy. You just need to do positive affirmations, or you just need to sit down in meditation and everything will be fine. Stop complaining. But if you are so low here, you cannot just jump in one go to love. So the exercise that usually I do with my clients and also with myself, it is, okay, if I'm in grief, let's say it's grief, how can I move from grief to fear? One step. How can I move from this sadness and things to fear? Okay. So I'm in fear that whatever I'm thinking is going to repeat again. But it's repeating or not? So this is the question. So we need to question our mind, which is our energy. So we're working with energy, but at the same time, we need to connect our subconscious mind with these sort of questions. So we feel fear, sadness and grief. And then, okay, let's say that someone passed away. Okay, you're in grief. And then you want to move yourself. Let's move to fear. I'm going to move myself to fear instead of being in grief. If something is going to happen to someone else, okay, now I'm in fear. Oh my goodness, something is going to happen to someone else, and I don't want to be this. And then, the stages of grief, and then you move to anger. The stages of grief actually is good because you start jumping the levels of consciousness. And then you are angry because the person passed away. So I always recommend this. Anger is not a bad energy. It's not a bad emotion. The thing is, we just need to move with the emotion. So if you feel anger, go and do punching bags, or you go and run, or you do something physical to release that emotion of anger. And there's a misconception that emotions last forever. An emotion only lasts 90 seconds. Only 90 seconds. Why we carry the emotions for so long? Because our belief system in our mind wants to hold it as that belief system is mine. Now is mine. So what we're holding is not really the emotion. What we're holding is the desire of holding that emotion in our mind, the memory. So the emotion, the physical emotion in our body is only 90 seconds. So if you go and do punching bag for more than 90 seconds, the anger will go. So then, okay, how do you feel? I feel proud of myself because I did some exercise and I released my anger. Great. All right. So then what do you want to do? You're still a little far away from love. what would you could do? I will go and have a cup of tea and watch TV, read a book. So now how I'm feeling neutral. And then, okay, what else I'm going to do? I'm going to accept the whole situation consciously. So now I'm going to do some breathings and I'm going to accept the whole situation, that the grief and the sadness is there. I cannot do anything. I cannot control it. And then you move to acceptance. And then you move, well, might be a reason that this happened. There must situation, a bigger reason that God is protecting me. So they start a little bit more like the consciousness connected with love. Here, you see the spiritual paradigm. There's a bigger reason. Great. And then you feel the love. When you go in with that mentality to meditate, you feel the love of God. So this can happen in one day, in 1 hour, in 1 year. There's no time for this. But the reason why I want to show this, it is that it is such an important tool, because when we are aware of where we are, we actually can move forward to upper level of vibration and improve our life. Did that make sense?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good visual of it. Just
Yes.
moving.
Moving forward. So sometimes the frustration in society, and when I feel that people come and say, for example, when they do the quantum healing hypnosis, which you have experienced, or any therapy that is so powerful, what I go and do is travel with the person from whatever they're feeling to a little bit higher. Sometimes we move way high. Sometimes we just move somewhere here, because that's the way of the process that we can move forward. So this is an excellent tool for you to make conscious every single day. And when you see it without judgment, like I was not saying to Lexi, why you feel fear? You should not feel, sadness. Why you feel sadness? Like I have no judgment for her emotion. But we are the first one who judge ourselves, well, the emotions that we have. And then we do all this situation moving forward with judgment. How you dare to feel angry? How this person, or with our closest persons, how they do this and that, and then we don't accept, and it's a conflict because we put all the judgment within ourselves. So one of the examples that I want to put, I don't know if you have anything within yours, close to you that is relatively heavy, like, I don't know, your phone, your bottle of water, or something, a book.
Yep.
Something. Okay. So if everybody can grab whatever you have, that is some weight. Yeah. So put it on the table, and now I want you to say something beautiful to you, like something like, no, sorry, no. Before we say something beautiful, I want you to say just your name. My name is, like, mentally, my name is, and just lift your, whatever is it, your glass or your bottle or phone. Pay attention about the weight. All right, put it back. And then I want you to say something that you really believe about yourself. Something like, I am amazing, I'm a good writer, I'm a good runner, I'm a good whatever. Something good that you truly believe. Feel the weight. Feels the same?
We'll pick it up again.
Yeah, pick it up again. Thinking of that. Thinking of, I'm really good running. And pick. Is that true for you? All right, put it back. And I want you to say now, pick it up, and I want you to say a name that is not yours, that you don't even know a person that name. My name is whatever. My name is How do you feel?
It's a bit heavier.
Heavier, yeah.
Yeah, I felt that too.
Yeah, so it's heavier. So why do you think it's heavier?
Because it's a false statement.
It is a false statement, but what happens when it's a false statement?
You lied?
You are lying, but what is happening? Why is heavier?
So you're not being true to yourself.
Yes, and what happened with that? With the with the you have this bioelectromagnetic field. Yes. So when you are not true to yourself, there's no congruence between your brain and your energy field. And your muscles knows that. Your muscle says, hey, the electricity here or the energy here between these two things, signals are not real. So we are like a little shortcut. So what happened? They lose strength. They don't have the same power to say, oh, I am strong to do this exercise or whatever it is. Because there's like, hey, did you give me a stop sign or did you give me a go ahead line? It's, So when we are not in congruence in our life, there's a massive disconnection, body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah.
So, any questions so far? Why I'm explaining this? Because coming back, we are energy. We still can continue. We can continue, but we are energy. And I want you to make conscious, well, in this case, I want you to understand. So we are going that we know about energy. And with this example, I want you to understand how energy and how our subconscious mind and energy relates. And so we're going to go to another list. All right, so here's the chakras. We know the chakras, right? There are hundreds of thousands of, no, not thousands, but there are around 200 chakras in our body. But we have the 7 ones, the 7 that are the most popular ones that we talk that usually are around our spine. So just to have like a little visual, this is the sort of the spine. Let's imagine this is the spine and these are our crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra. I'm not going to go too much in detail about these ones, but let's do an exercise again. I don't know if anyone else wants to be a voluntary again. And we're going to combine. So anyone wants to share if you felt any heaviness in your body today? No?
No, other days, yes, but today no, I didn't feel any.
That's good. That's a good way, Ira.
Hmm.
So let's say someone had like a heaviness in the chest. So the heaviness in the chest is the heart chakra, which is related to the air, to the love, to balance and compassion. So if we combine the heaviness in the chest and we come and put together the map of consciousness. So in the heaviness of the chest, this is where we start making connecting the dots. So first, we need to feel. Conscious means that we need to be aware of what is happening in us all the time. When I do the hypnosis session, I always ask the persons, "Hi, what are you feeling?" Let's say I feel sadness. Where do you feel the sadness? Usually it's in the throat or the heart. In the heart. Okay. And then we work with the energy in the heart without judging. So we come back. What is this person feeling? Sadness. So we come back to David Hawkins' map of consciousness. Let's say, or let's say fear. Let's say fear. I have a lot of fear. Okay, so it's consciousness 10. And what they feel usually when they have in fear, they feel anxiety or frightened. Where do you feel the fear? In your heart, in the heart chakra. So another way to move them from the fear to something, let's say neutral at least, from the heart chakra, and if the person is too much in fear to start thinking of something and or to do different exercises, the only thing that you can do that is works fantastically, it is to put your hands on the heart, if there's the heaviness there, just to put the hands there, because your hands have so much power and energy. So if you feel like tight in your chest and you are so anxious that you can actually start having this internal communication to see how to move the next level, you just put your hands in your heart and start breathing. And in that breathing, you start imagining how that energy is moving from the heart to a little bit higher in consciousness, not in the body, because moving from heart to throat is not necessarily the situation, but you feel that, okay, that fear or that sadness in the heart, I'm going to start moving. And physically, you can start doing with your hand, moving to pride. I wanted to move it to pride. And imagine that movement of energy from the heart, blocked heart, to pride. And then you start feeling how that heaviness in your chest start releasing. Because we are energy. And by doing this, like, it's almost like washing the heaviness of your heart, moving the energy and taking it out. And imagine that you're putting it in pride. So when you visualize, okay, I have all this ball of heaviness in my heart, and I'm going to put in the next level, that is pride, and you just do that, your mind doesn't know if it's real or false. So for your mind, the mind doesn't know the difference between real and not real. So for right now, with all these, what do you call it? These goggles that I forgot the name. That is virtual reality, is so dangerous, especially for kids, because if they are in, let's say, it's a game of war, if a 10-year-old have that thing in the head, the kid can get into the trauma like he's in a war, because for the mind does not exist that difference that is real or false. So by doing this in a positive way, your mind will think, oh, okay, the heaviness and the heart is not there anymore. It's moving physically the energy, and let's put it into pride. And then the energy is gone. And if you try this at home with anything or any situation consciously, you will see that things heal immediately almost. So this is how energy works. Energy works like magic. It's very simple and very basic, but at the same time, super powerful. So we are combining two, the map of consciousness with the chakras. So that's two concepts, and it's super powerful. And I want you to do now, let's do the auras, because everything is related. So the aura is the electromagnetic field that we have around us, that we call the aura. And there are different types of electromagnetic fields and different levels as well. I'm not going to go into all that detail today because of the time, but that aura as well carry information. So many people can see auras since kids. I don't know if anybody here can see auras. No.
No, unfortunately, no.
Well, everybody can see it. It's just you're not paying attention, but you can see
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And
I
we're going
see
to.
I see auras and all around me, but not in people.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
people
now you can.
can't. I don't see it, but I see the aura of everything around me. Yes.
That's good. That's a start.
Mm.
So, why is related to the other thing? We're going to see the relationship with the map of consciousness and with the relationship of the chakras as well. So we have different electromagnetic field all the time. So aura could be like the first one. So when I do energy healing, as many of you, I'm a Reiki master, and for me, it's very easy to feel without even being next to the person, without even seeing the person, without even just thinking about the person. With the permission, I can see and I can feel whatever is happening to that person. Because I'm not connecting to the person, I'm connecting to that aura. And everything is there. Everything is there. And you feel it too. You can feel when a friend is telling you, oh, yes, I'm fine, thank you. You can feel that it's not fine. You can feel that it's like, yes, something is not right. And you are hearing, perhaps in that case, you can hear the voice vibration or energy in when she's saying, oh, yes, I'm fine, thank you. That is not fine. To, oh, yes, I'm fine, thank you. You know, there's a difference of the vibration. Or even if when you just hug someone, you can feel something off with this person because you are reading that aura or the electromagnetic field that is around the person. But why is it important to read auras? Because if we are going to start talking about energy and thinking about energy, really, we don't need so much the mind anymore. We need all this energy, and then we can understand what is happening with life, in our life. So we are going to do an exercise, a simple exercise here. And I want you to do this with your hands. Let's do that in a few seconds. And now start sort of feel the heat that you have in your energy that you produce, yeah? Just feel that and play with the energy. You don't need to think too much, just feel it. All right. And now I want you to look at your fingers. Like if you put the fingers like this, and I want you to focus in the space of the energy between the two fingers. If you have something white, put something white behind. If you don't have something white, just focus on that energy within. In the space, a little bit close to the finger, but not looking to the finger, sort of the space. Without thinking too much, the first color that comes to your mind, not so much that you see with your eyes, more that the first color that comes to your mind.
For me, it was white.
White, nice.
Yellow.
Yellow,
Pink.
pink,
Blue.
good. You see how easy it was?
Yeah.
Those ones who hasn't been able to do it, don't worry. It comes. But if you just don't think about it and you just see it, you can actually start feeling the aura. Why this is important? Why seeing colors matters to my life? That's why I call it Everything is energy. So now what? Like, what is the purpose of seeing all these auras and colors? Because if we come back to the map of consciousness of David Hawking, not that it's related, the auras, colors. I have another table for auras, but this is not related to colors. So if you see yellow, someone say yellow. So yellow usually represents like wisdom, like, well, it's exactly what happened because you are learning right now. So your energy field is like absorbing all that information as a wisdom, as a learning, intuition, wisdom, spiritual learning as well. So when you meet someone, and let's say, and I'm going to give you another exercise how to see someone else's aura, and you see the aura in a, I want to say black or brown, not necessarily means something negative. There's no negative in aura's colors, but you can understand sort of situation where the person is. So let's say that you come and see someone that is in a red aura. And it's like, let's say your husband that just came from work, and you can see the red aura around the person. You're not going to ask him, can you please look after the kids while I'm do something else? Because most likely he will say no. Because in that moment, his energy field, it has so much like not necessarily anger, but there's a lot of fire within himself. And let's say it's coming from work, that is stress and all that. The fire is still around him, not necessarily fire. It could be positive, like could be someone super excited for something. So if someone who has like a red aura at that moment, you will not ask him, can you come and meditate with me, love? Because most likely will say no. Because his energy field, it is not aligned in that moment to do that. So when you start reading the auras, you will understand that you will not take it personally if he say no, that doesn't want to meditate with you, because actually he energy around him was not even ready to do a meditation with you in that moment. So if we start thinking in terms of energy, not so much on words and mind, life will be easier because it is like you start making sense of a lot of things instead of trying to fight why he say no to me, why he there, I've been, something and something, and our mind goes in a spiral and down the hill of how and all this victimhood and so on, when in reality is something else.
Claudia, can I ask a question at this
Yes.
stage?
Yes.
Thank you. Just to clarify with you and also with everybody else about that exercise between the fingers.
Yeah.
So I had also a color that came to my mind right away, but I definitely didn't see a change in color, comparing to my background, which was white. But it came to my mind right away. So I just wanted to ask, like, is it supposed to at some point like be more visible, or is it more of a feel and kind of knowing? How does that work?
So the energy in general is the feel and the knowing. The eyes are not, we don't see with the eyes, we see with the brain at the back. So if you got some information, that is your eyes, your third eye seeing, looking. So for example, in that question, I have mine, it drops, I think, Jenny. I think she dropped. Oh no, yeah, Joanna here, yeah. I work with my kids and they do blindfold seeing, that basically they have blindfold and they can read and they can see and they can do everything. And I do those exercises with them often, just because they don't see with the eyes, they see with the intuition and with the aura energy field. So it's the same. So kids can do it very naturally because they don't have all these limiting beliefs, that layers of limiting beliefs that we have. But the color that came to your mind is the color, is the color of the aura. And if you practice and practice and practice, eventually become visual. You know, you will be able to see it with the physical eyes as well, not just with just their eye.
Can I add something to that? Is that all right? Because I'm sorry, I put my camera on. Hello.
Yeah, I cannot see you yet. Oh yeah, I can see you now. Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of this aura exercise and stuff because I'm very interested in this right now. And I just recently learned that the aura is several layers. And actually the first layer, which is the closest to the body, is the color white. So that's what we will see first when we start seeing auras. And then it is, as you said, a lot of exercise. So as more as we train, we will be able to see all the other colors around. Then that kind of, it changes with our like in what mood we are or something like this. So that's why when we see white, that's usually the first layer of the aura, and that's what people usually see first. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Yes, that you're right. And also we have the auras that change color, as Claudia says, like change from 1 hour to another hour, or change like clothes. You one moment could be happy, another one depends on the situation that you're going through the day or through your life in different days. But also we have our soul color, and that soul color is unique to you, and that doesn't change. But that is another topic, more deep. But bottom line, we are components of layers of different energies within us. So what we see is very limited to this reality. It's very small versus the amount of energy that we are, that we don't see and we don't pay attention, because we are so busy in the day to day, in the density of this life. Any other question? Okay. So come back to the exercise. I just want to come back to this exercise. So the reason what I'm sharing is that why it's important to understand the basics of energy, frequency, vibration, oscillation, because this is energy, all this is energy, the chakras, the aura, the consciousness level, the auras. So we are in the constant vibration, frequency, oscillation, emotions up and down, colors moving, expansion and expansion. And what is all that? It's all energy. So why I'm explaining this? Because through all my practice, through many years that I've been doing all this work, many repeat, everything is energy, everything is frequency, everything is vibration. But when we are in a situation of stress, we forget about all this. And all these emotions and all this heaviness and all these belief systems take over our mind, and nothing of this matter. And we forgot that it's working, and this is just when we are happy and relaxed to understand that, and doesn't feel real and doesn't work. Why? Because we don't make it conscious. So I have a mentor, a teacher, and he told me this story of a Sufi, as a religion, a Sufi story, that there was this man, and then like walking in the forest, and then he fell asleep next to the tree, and he fell asleep with the mouth open. and a snake came inside. Well, he was sleeping, a snake came inside to him. There was this other man who saw that, but he was on a horse, and he saw, and he just jumped out of the horse and started hitting the guy who had the snake inside. And the guy who was next to the tree sleeping woke up, and he just saw this guy hitting him. And he was like not understanding what is happening, but in his mind is like, who is this horrible man? I'm just sleeping, and it's like this man hitting me. And the guy hitting him in the stomach and trying, he didn't say anything. He was just hitting him until the guy vomit. And when he vomit, he released the snake. So the guy sleeping said, wow, you saved my life. If I would have not vomit, I will die. Why you didn't tell me that you were hitting me because I needed to release the snake? And there was no time. There was no time, he said, the other guy, for me to sit down and say, come on, let's try to understand. You ate a snake and all this happened. There was no time. You will, and then you will not believe me that you ate a snake or the snake went into your throat. So I just wanted to save you. And in those moments of hitting until you vomit, and then it's gone. So what is the analogy? The analogy is that we go through life sleeping, like this guy. We're sleeping. And all these limiting beliefs come into us, inside, like the snake, doing damage to our system. And we don't realize it because we are sleeping. We don't pay attention. So then you go to, let's say, hypnosis, and I'm the guy hitting you, quotation mark, I'm not hitting anyone, just for the record, trying you to vomit all those limiting beliefs until get out. But honestly, I don't explain it to you. I just try you to vomit the limiting beliefs. And it's why it's so emotional, these sessions. But when you release them, many of you have experienced, it's like, wow, I feel much better, like life came to me. Because you are vomiting all those limiting beliefs. But I never explain, well, after the session, I sort of explain, we have this conversation, but because you are in so much euphoria or emotions and all that, sometimes it's difficult to explain this after. You just know that you feel better, you feel it better, but the explanation is how not to allow the snakes to come back to you and not fall asleep again. Hence, I will continue, don't worry, but because of the time, I just conscious of the time. Hence, I thought this is so important. Understand. So you know about energy. You might understand some concept about energy, but the most important is to make conscious living about energy. So when we make conscious living about energy, we will not allow the snake to come inside again and fall asleep. Hence, in that case, because many of us, including myself, that has been taking me years of understanding about energy. We never been taught this at school. We are not taught about energy from our parents or anyone. And hence, I created the conscious energy method. I created this course, the conscious energy method, which is exactly to explain and go through understanding all these conscious, understanding all these examples of analogies of how the chakras, how the map of the consciousness works, how the energy works, how the subconscious mind works, how all the difficult terminology of quantum physics and energy in a very simplistic analogies and examples for people, because I believe if we don't understand all this and we don't make it consciously, we're just going to continue repeating the patterns of this behavior, that falling asleep next to the tree, getting new belief systems, and we need to continue again vomiting. Because if we will not understand as a society or even in our lives that everything is energy, there will not be suffering, because we will not see things from so much suffering and pain. We understand that life is hard, that there could be a lot of losses and things that can cause pain, but we can learn how to overcome them gracefully and knowing that you have the skills to move forward without drowning in all the situations. How? And this is the next step. I will continue. So we were talking about all these concepts about energy, and I'm going to talk now about quantum physics. When I speak about quantum physics and one of my practices called quantum healing, it's precisely because of this. I'm now going to put it as simple as possible. I can. And the best is not to be scared of the quantum physics. So quantum physics, it is when around the 1900s, the scientists decided, oh, by the way, the Newtonian physics from Newton is not really true. The things are not linear. If I throw a ball from here to there, not necessarily is going to be a straightforward line. And depends of where I am. So if I'm throw the ball to Lexi from here, Lexi might see a big ball coming to her. I see the ball is becoming little and little because it's getting far away from me. If Maritza is on one side, she might see like a line because it's like, say, a super fast ball that she doesn't see the ball, she just see a line. And someone else is from the bottom, she might see something else. So that Newtonian theory of physics disappeared in the 1900s, which Max Planck, that he discovered there was quantums. I'm not going to go to all that information because it can get complicated, but I just wanted to explain here that the most important thing about quantum physics that you can apply into your life, it is reality only exists from the perspective of the observant. So I can say, I throw you a small ball to Lexi. Lexi will say, no, you throw me a really big ball. And Marisa will say, no, you throw like a line or like a ribbon. And everybody is right. All of them is right. So he's trying to understand the situations and the different things of how this change. And the observant in the daily life example, it is, this is a very simplistic example. There was this client that she was having some situations that she got married. She's recently married. And she was having some issues with her husband that they were not living together before and then were moving together for daily stuff. Like he likes to leave the bed on dawn in the morning because he prefers to refresh the bed. And she likes to make the bed because it looks clean. She cannot continue her work if the kitchen is not clean. Well, the husband was like, oh, I need to work. I will go to work, to the office and the desk and work. And he didn't care about the dishes, but she couldn't focus on that. And that was creating a lot of conflict between both of them because everybody has their own right and their own belief system that they is like, I'm fine and I'm right and you are right and we're both right. But who is right? No one is right. Both of them have different point of views. So in that exercise, we put yourself out and start seeing from above. And from that situation, when you see from above, in her case, there were more things about that case. She didn't come only because the husband didn't make the bed, but if in her case was about control. For her was so important to have some level of control. Why? Because there was some situations in her childhood that she needed to have control of herself because the parents were not looking after her. So having that control, having the house tidy and clean, was not really about the husband being messy, according to her. That at the end was a wound that she used to have, that if she would not be in control, was dangerous for that little girl. So a very basic problem was a very profound belief system that she needed to create in order to protect herself. So here I want to do an exercise, everybody. So I want you to close your eyes and think about a problem that you cannot resolve, that is quite complicated. And I want you to breathe and see the situation, your part and the other person's part. So now I want you to imagine that you detach yourself from that situation. So you see yourself like there and the other person, but I want you to imagine that you detach yourself from that situation and you go up and up and up. And that from that level, I want you to imagine that there's a solution somewhere. Just don't think about the solution. I just want you to see the color. There's a bubble with a solution. Don't think what is inside the bubble. Just and now I want you to put that bubble of the solution on top of the problem. Breathe. And when I count to 3, the solution will come. The best solution for that. 1, connecting to your subconscious mind. 2, 3. The first thing that comes to your mind. Even if it doesn't make sense, the first word, the first thing that comes to your mind. And now see it as what is the real issue there? Is the conflict or there's something else? Open your eyes. How you feeling?
Nice. Good.
Good. So I hope some answers came to you, and try not to think like, even can be like analogies, could be something, let's say like a notebook or a piano, could be something that you think that doesn't make sense, but write it down, and eventually all these little clues will come together to what is the answer. So just allow your subconscious mind, because remember, the subconscious mind only comes in images and symbols, not so much in words and rational explanations. Okay, any questions so far? Yeah.
No questions. Just to know when can I book a session with you, because I wrote to you a year ago just to book a session, but you never answered me. So the main reason I'm attending this meeting is that I wanted to book a session with you, hypnosis.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Ra. I will send you the email. My email. Usually my DMs in Instagram gets so fully booked that so like I get hundreds of messages daily that I don't see it, but in emails I see. I will send you my email there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
But I still have a couple more things here to go, so don't go yet.
Okay.
So in regards the beliefs, this belief system and quantum physics is about, we don't see to believe. You know that there's a saying, we see to believe? No, we believe and then see. So I can put you this notebook here, and I can tell you, this is blue. But if you don't believe that this is blue, will never be blue. So you need to believe on that first, and then you will you will believe in the blue, in the color. Let's say that you don't believe in the color blue, you will not see the color blue. You will say, no, it's sort of purple. So that is happening in our lives. Like, we believe so much in our truth. I'm not saying no, believe in your truth. But for example, in the situation of this example of the husband and the wife that they were having issues with making the bed or not making the bed, she believed that her truth was so 100% real that nothing else matters. And she couldn't see anything else. She couldn't see everything else that was so deep, or his truth as well. So Thomas Campbell, he used to say that, he used to believe that nothing can fix your life until you get into your subconscious mind. And what is the subconscious mind? It is energy. Because where's the subconscious mind? The mind is not in the brain. We think it's in the brain, but it's not in the brain. The subconscious mind is everything. Subconscious mind in your intestine. When we are nervous, then we feel butterflies in the stomach. That is the subconscious mind. 95% of the serotonin is made in the intestine. So to be happy, we need to have our guts healthy. When someone is unhappy and angry all the time, 100% they don't have healthy guts. So we start seeing how everything is related, and it's very simple to understand. And but the most important is to make it conscious, start making it conscious in our daily life. Hence, I did the course, the full course, because that's the key. If you learn that, if you learn how to make it conscious in your daily life, you can learn everything. You can learn numerology, you can learn astrology, you can learn how to play piano, you can learn how to, everything in life fall into place. It's like the foundation. You can make abundance. So let's talk about abundance right now and energy. So this exercise, you can do it with your mind or you can write it down. So I'm going to say some statements and then you're going to tell me. Just think about it. So I said, money for me is, the first thing that comes to your mind. Money for me is, yeah. The other question is money for, what is, I want you to imagine what is between you and money. Is a distance, short distance, best friends, hate each other? What is the relationship between you and money? Yeah. And now the next one. This is what I want to do with the money. The first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. Now, change the word money for mom. So instead of, see to your answers, like money for me is, now block the word money and put mom for me is, and whatever you answer. My relationship with money is, instead of that, you don't have to repeat it. It's just whatever you wrote about money, that energy. First, see what is your relationship with money. Is healthy, unhealthy, easy, best friends, good mates, so it's a little bit distant. So in that exercise is an exercise that you need to do to yourself, because the energy of that is not so much about money. It's about the relationship that you have with your mom, even if she passed away. That is the energy between you and her. So if you want to improve the relationship with money, you need to work on that relationship with your mom. But you might say, oh, but the relationship with my mom is fantastic. I don't have any problem and I have money problems. Go deeper. Go deeper to the next level. Grandmother. Go deeper. Great grandmother. How was the relationship my mom with my grandmother? How was the relationship my grandmother with my great grandmother? If you don't know, just believe and allow the subconscious mind to come to you and give you that answer. Anybody, you don't need to share any personal, but anyone discover something interesting or confirm something that you already knew?
Yeah, confirming. I already knew.
Yeah, so this is sometimes when we need to talk to our subconscious mind that we don't know what is happening in our life and we focus in money, and reality might be something else. And it's our subconscious mind, which is energy, is always talking to us, always having an answer. And we are the ones that don't want to listen. The subconscious mind, the energy is always communicating to us, very clear and loud. It's just we don't know how to translate all that. All right. So the next one. For example, if someone had limiting belief, money is the root of all evil, perhaps the subconscious mind is saying, my mom is the root of all evil. Not necessarily she's thinking that the mother is an evil, but it's like caused a lot of stress, perhaps was such a strict mom. So if you say money is only for rich people, perhaps your relationship with your mom, you felt that you were not worthy enough, that you didn't need to be something else in order to be accepted by your mom. I don't deserve to have money. I don't deserve to have the love of my mom, or her mom of her grandmother, your grandmother, and so on. So your subconscious mind gives you a lot of answers all the time. It's just we don't know how to translate it. And this comes, I'm going to say, put in examples of the grandmother and the great grandmother, because a lot of the loyalties and family loyalties and unworthiness come into place. So now I'm going to talk about the loyalties, because in my quantum healing hypnosis, we always go to regressions, and we always find, or not always, but many times we find out that some situations that the kid is living right now, or you are living right now, is because the great grandfather did something and now you're paying for that. And everybody might think, how unfair is that? How they dare that I have to pay the karma of my great grandfather who killed 100 people in war, and now I'm paying the karma. Unfortunately, it's energy as well. So let's imagine something very simple, a tree, apple tree. You are eating an apple. You are eating an apple, yummy. It's a nice apple. Good. And someone else is eating an apple, but her apple is from other tree, and the other tree is like a little bit not so nice, porous. It's like the tree is sort of dying. So in the chain of energy, let's forget that it's an apple. In the chain of energy, who planted the tree? Someone else. In the change of energy, who gave the seed to plant the tree? Someone else. In the change of energy, who had the land to plant the tree in that land? Someone else. So did you see it's a change of a lot of energy? So you're eating an apple, but there were like 4 or 5 people before that who did the whole process for you to eat an apple. So it's the same with our ancestors. We have a lot of good things, but we might be staying in our DNA a lot of karma that they did. And it's not bad or good or bad. It's again information, it's energy in our DNA. But the good news is that you can break it. So let's say the example of the tree and the apple tree. The other guy who had like a half-dead apple tree, he can change soil, he can put some nutritions to the tree, make something so pests doesn't come and eat the tree. The same to you. You can change the soil, you can look after you, and you don't need that this tree to die because of the pest of bad seed at the beginning. So there's the same. It's the same with the families, loyalties, families, heritage of energy. So breathe in and breathe out again. And just focus on something that you think that you are carrying from your family. The first thing that comes to your mind. Yeah, good. You can open your eyes. So here you can say, I'm not a victim. So when you understand how energy works, you understand that you are not a victim anymore. It's just a change of events of energy. And everything as the energy, the first laws of energy, never destroy, but can transform. So you can transform as well. So it's very easy to transform. Any questions? No?
I guess I have a question.
Yeah.
Does it always have to be conscious or become conscious to be able to transform it? Because if it's going very far, we may not have that kind of access to that information, but with the relationships, in previous generations. Yeah.
It is, yes, you need to make it conscious in order to break it. But for example, if you don't know, I have many clients. I have one particular client that she was coming because she had everything. Perfect life, everything, no problems, perfect partner, great job, great boss, money, abundance. And overnight, she woke up depressed. And she couldn't find any way. She was healthy, eating healthy, and there was no way why. Literally overnight, she woke up one day super depressed, and she was not able to move and go out home, and a lot of situations that she couldn't move from bed. This is a deep depression she was, and it was overnight, and she didn't even consciously, rationally, she couldn't understand it why. And she came for a session, and in the session, we went far away to a relative that commit suicide, and she didn't know. So the information was there, and she started being depressed the age that he commits suicide. So there was that energetic information that she was carrying it from him. And this, I can do another full-on workshop just to explain this little part, how we discover this consciously. But I can help people that doesn't want to go under hypnosis to discover that only through numerology, because numbers again carry energy. So with numerology, you can discover that. But then you need to go to the core of the issue. It's almost like the apple tree example that I was explaining to you. If you know that you have an apple that doesn't taste good, but you don't know which is the tree to put better soil, you will continue eating apples that are no good. You need to go to the source. So for you to do an exercise, pay attention of, and so just to finish the story, so this lady find out it was this person and the relative. We work with the relative energy and literally almost immediately change, like almost immediately, just by making conscious the message that this relative was carrying it. And this is not about a spirit. It was just a memory in the DNA that it was carrying that. But for example, for you, if you have some situations in your life that repeats over and over and over and over and over, most likely it is a family lineage or family loyalty or something that is unresolved. And then you need to ask yourself. So this is the conclusion of my exercise of the whole. This is a good exercise. So let's imagine that I get friends who betrayed me all the time. For example, that is it. And or whoever who betrays me. Okay. So this is everything is energy. So now what? This is how you can break it. So they betray me. So now what? What do you do with that? I get angry. And so now what? You get angry and what else? I get sad. And so now what? I get in grief because I lost a friendship. So if we come back to the level of consciousness, instead of going up, I get angry because they betray me. Then I get in fear because I will get betrayed again. And then I get sad because I lost a friendship. Instead of going up, you're going down. All right. So now you realize another friend betrayed me. So, but now you're conscious. I don't know where this is coming from. Might be that your great-grandfather was betrayed and you are just repeating that pattern. But now, without knowing the story of who is from or what is it, but it's something that is repeating all over in your life, you consciously, you will start back. Okay, this time, this friend betrayed me. What I'm going to do? I'm going to courageously say, thank you for your friendship of whatever years. Have a good life. What I'm going to do? I will accept the situation that friends comes and go. What is the next step? I will love myself for being so brave. And then I will be joyful that there's a space for another friend to come into my life. So instead of getting into the same pattern of going again, you take another road consciously. So this is almost like unconsciously go and help the tree that you didn't know that was missing some soil and some nutrients. But you will find it because you find the road now. So this exercise is the one that I wanted to get to, basically. So everything is energy. So now what? So now what? It is now what? You start questioning. So now what? What I need to do? So what is the next step? What I need to do? Let's say another example. Someone with anxiety that cannot leave home. If I go outside the house, I don't want to go outside because I'm scared that, the boss is going to hit me. Okay, so now what? You go outside, the boss hits you. So now what? Oh, I'm going to be paralyzed. Okay, it's sad, it's terrible. So now what? What is happening next? Oh, I might die early. Okay, you die early. So now what? What else? The next one? Well, I just die and I'll go to heaven. So now what? You are so. It's a very simplistic way to see life. But if you take the power away of the fear away and keep moving up, things disappear. So you take away the emotion as an observant, as the quantum physics observant, away from the situation, and the things are going to get better. Yeah. Any questions?
Did you record? Are you recording this, Claudia? Because
Yeah,
look
yes.
back on the
The
table of
recording.
consciousness, yeah.
Yes, I'm recording. And as I said as well before, if you really want to make more understanding, because obviously in 1.5 hours, we have some limited time to explain this quite quickly. But in this one, in this conscious, I call it the conscious energy method, because it's I'm giving you the answer of how to improve life. To improve your life, you need to make consciously the energy. You need to live consciously with the energy. Once you learn how to do that, things start getting better. And I'm saying this not because I'm just read a lot of books and I do a lot of courses and years of study. No, I say this because I start applying it and things works. Things works when you apply all these, and it works very easily. So if you're interested in that, I put it all together for my own sanity and even for my own children. So one of the other things before I go, I have I talk about grounding all the time because we are energy beings and we talk about grounding often. and the importance of, because if we resonate with the energy of the earth resonate with us. And you see abundance in nature, and nature, you see a lake, you see a forest, you see nature, there's any lack there. There's no lack. It's hundreds of trees, hundreds of leaves, air, water, sand. There's no limitation. The energy is the same. The birds are not thinking, oh, I don't know if I'm going to have anything to eat today. They just know they're going to eat, because there's abundance of energy everywhere. Everywhere. So let's start connecting more with nature, connecting more with the abundance of nature. When we feel that there's not much energy in our life and we're lacking of all that, let's connect to that abundance just by observing how much abundance is in nature. Really, so much. And in reality, even in materialistic way, we are over abundance at the moment in humanity. I think it's excess of abundance of material stuff as well, which is no good. So energy, money, abundance, whatever you want to manifest is there very easily. It's just a matter to learn how to put your conscious thoughts, energy field in the right way, in the right position. But anyway, sometimes we need to be with all these electromagnetic computers and all stuff. So I got these bracelets from a company called Alchemy, which is a earth band, which is a telluric energy that reduces stress anxiety by helping restore our biorhythms with the natural state of balance, which basically is like grounding when we cannot ground, when we need to be in the office or some places that we cannot ground. So they are giving away one for who participate in today's workshop, but unfortunately it's only for Australians. So
Thank you.
no, sorry. It's one. So I need to do
Oh, right.
raffle,
Sorry.
not for each of you. Sorry. They
Sorry.
only gave me one. So I need to
That's good.
yes. So yeah. I think it's just a few of you in Australia. So anyone, Abigail or Alifa, I don't know, where are you? But I will write down the names and I will ask them to do the raffle. And then they will send it to you. Yeah. Any questions? Yep. All right. So let's close with a grounding meditation, if that okay. So place yourself comfortable. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just relax. Feel the relaxation going through your body. Feel the relaxation going down to your body. Feel how your body relaxes. Your arms relax. Your body relax. And feel how you start aligning the energy through your spine. I want you to imagine that you are connecting to the earth with a line intention, with an intention that is strong into you. And I want you to put that intention into the earth, your feet, that is going to transform and grow to something amazing. Then move that energy from the earth and the intention growing beautifully. Move into your knees. Move into your hips. Allow your feminine and masculine self to balance. Feel the expansion. Feel the heat. Then moving up your solar plexus to your tummy, to your stomach. Allow the creativity, allow the intuition to connect. Then move up to your heart, opening and expanding. Allow the love and break all the barriers that you have put around love and your heart. Accepting the energy and love from the universe, from the earth, that powerful light. Then moving up to your throat, allowing to break all those times that you were said to not talk and be quiet. And allow to move to your third eye chakra and to see the things clear, visualize everything that is wonderful and clear in you. to see the life with another perspective as an observant. And now connect to your crown chakra. And divinity. Allow your higher self to open to you, or you open to your higher self for the clarity of life, connection to the universe. And allow the divinity and God and the stars and angels and guides to expand into you. And breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and allow all that expansion going into you. Now you can open your eyes. How are you feeling?
Good.
Good, good.
Yes.
That's good. Any last questions? I say I left the link in the chat. Actually, I will put the link of my email, Ra, as well. If you want to contact me, I'm happy to do a one-on-one session.
I got it already.
Oh, you got it.
You,
Okay, great.
you sent it to me.
Yes. And the link to the other thing as well, if you are interested in the course. So any questions, anything, you know, that I'm here always to help you. I had a meeting, which I believe many of you saw it as well, with Debbie Solari. So Debbie is a contactee, EP contactee. And one of the things that we agree, and I agree with her, like we are here in the mission of making of this expansion of how to become better, how to improve ourselves, how to have the tools to not depend so much on the heaviness of the 3D reality, to remember that we are more than this physical body, these physical emotions, and we have this potential. Like we have so much to give, and we forget. So hopefully this exercise and workshop today help you to remember that you have more potential than you can remember, and it's just a matter to reactivate it again.
Thank you very much, Claudia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
That was
you.
great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Claudia.
Have a good day. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, Boo. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, good. Ra, send me an email and we can coordinate the time. Yes, because of the
Yes, I will. I
time.
will. I will. Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I'm very interested. We have to talk about few things.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good. So we coordinate the time between you and I. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
bye,
you.
Claudia. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good night.
Bye-bye. Bye.
See you. Bye bye. Namaste. Bye bye.